All right. Hello. Welcome to Share a Sip. We're with Curtis from Las Positas Winery.
How you doing?
And he is the chef here.
And assistant general manager.
Assistant general manager. So first, we'll cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for spending the time with me. Ooh, this is really good. All right. First, I guess we could just say the two wines we're having.
All right. So I chose for white today a varietal called Verdello. It's a Portuguese varietal, also grown in Spain. Definitely has a bright aromas of pear, a little bit of mango, kind of the tropical fruits, and definitely some flavors of that mango or pear, lemon. Definitely a great wine that you can pair real well with any type of seafood or chicken, or just on its own.
It's really good. Really bright.
Really bright. I should have probably brought my second glass. Do you want me to go get a second glass? You sure? Okay, because I would say we can pour that.
Could do like a little rinse.
Well, we can finish this first and then go move on. And then for red, I brought Coccineous. That is a blend that is Tempranillo base with a little bit of Graciano. So more kind of Iberian Spanish red, and then a little bit of Syrah and Petit Syrah to complete it out. Coccineous meaning scarlet in Latin. I was trying to describe the color of the wine.
Okay.
It was actually the first blend that our winemaker created here with the intention of expanding his blending program and always having unique Latin terms to describe the wine. So Coccineous, our first blend that we began back in 2011.
Fun. I actually did Latin in high school, but I don't remember much.
I took Latin in 8th grade. I can't remember much either. So
I know like God. Okay. All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself, like how you got into like culinary, then the wine.
We'll see. Back in 1997, or actually December '96, I was actually playing soccer down in Santa Barbara at a small little college, Westmont, and played 2 years at City College, and ended up just really wanting to change my life. So I ended up going to culinary school at City College. So I ended up going back to City College and graduated their culinary program in December of 1998. And at that time, I had got accepted a job up in Northern California, up in the Bay Area, where I'm from, with the Santa Barbara Restaurant Company, which was the Elephant Bar Restaurants.
Okay.
And started with them in January of '99, and spent 11 years with them.
Oh wow.
And working all the way up from an assistant manager all the way up to culinary manager, general manager, new store opening manager. Opened up or worked in 11 restaurants for them. And then back in 2009, I decided it was time for me to kind of venture off and get into a different aspect of the hospitality business, and felt like that I had learned everything that I wanted to, as well as everything kind of changed in the corporate restaurant world. And so I ended up moving back to Santa Barbara and actually started working at 2 different wineries. One was called Brander Winery, and the other one was called Bridalwood. I spent about 3 years there, and then accepted a job up here back in January of 2013.
Cool.
And ever since.
That's awesome. All right. So what spiked your love for wine? Or did you just like pairing food and wine?
I think for me personally, it was kind of growing up. I had always been a little exposed to wine, as far as my stepmom always had wine, you know, and I always kind of watched her cook, and she always had Chardonnay, and it was something that once you did get into school, they actually have you take classes in wine, as well as learn the essence of how food and wine complement each other. So that's kind of where it really kind of took off for me, and then just years of experimenting with trying different varietals and trying different food and seeing what works and what likes. I have a simple saying: good wine is what you like, and don't let anyone tell you differently.
I like that.
I also believe that food and wine are a complete marriage. So, you know, I could tell you this goes well with chicken, but it really is going to go with whatever you really enjoy eating.
Yeah.
You know, and true pairing, though, will take 2 different flavors and combine them together in order to reach another flavor. And everyone's palate's different. So that's the fun of wine and food together, is really trying to find what you like, but what can you do to be different and experiment with it in a way that is fun and unique and enjoyable, like any other hobby that people have.
I like it. And then tell us a little bit of what you do at Las Positas Winery.
So I've been here 8 years. Started as the tasting room manager, and when I got here, one thing that I noticed there wasn't really food and wine being offered as in a flight.
Okay.
And so when I first got here, that was the first thing that I wanted to incorporate here, was always having a second flight that showed the ability for certain food items to complement the wine. So we started with different types of cheeses and pretty much went through everything at Trader Joe's, and then kind of graduated to Whole Foods and kind of took on a little bit more of the artisan style cheeses, cheeses that were hard to find, or cheeses that you rarely have, and started to play around with how we could expand that.
Okay.
As well as we started doing working with the chocolatier, making different types of chocolate truffles, different types of flavors, and then we would look for just any opportunity to do anything that could do a pairing with some type of food and wine and promote it. So we ended up doing bacon and cab, because International Bacon Day and International Cabernet Day were actually a few days apart.
Oh, cool.
And so now we had, this last year was our 8th year doing a bacon and cab event, where we've done just different types of styles of bacon. We've even done the bacon ourselves in-house, where we've actually seasoned each bacon differently. This last year we actually did bacon sliders.
Okay.
One of them was marinated in Bloody Mary mix, and the other one was marinated in Jägermeister.
Okay, that's cool.
And then we did like a lemon creme fraiche, and so we kind of did a fancy slider, but we used bacon with it.
That's cool.
So that's one of our fun events. And then we always were just looking for any type of international food, international wine, and trying to put them together. And so, this last year, leap year, we did a leap on, leap off trolley event, where each winery, we're part of the West Side Wine Trail, which is Finestra Winery, Dante Robert, and Cootridge. And we partnered with the Livermore Valley Trolley and had everyone hop on and hop off around the 4 wineries. So it was a lot of fun. We did a bacon wrap stuffed shrimp with a little cream cheese and jalapeno. We're a bunch of foodies here. I think that's what drew me kind of to the winery, is really we have a full commercial kitchen. We were able to do a lot of different events. We do a concert series, but really talking with the owners and the winemaker, a bunch of foodies that just love the combination of food and wine together. So that's kind of what drew me here. And then now being officially given the title of the chef here, it's my job to kind of keep leading the charge to develop more of our experience, to slow it down. We had actually decided back in February this last year, prior to COVID, we were going to kind of take the experience more of a slowing it down, more educational, more one-on-one treatment. And so we went and visited a few other wineries in Napa and Sonoma area, and kind of took some ideas from what they were doing. And so we decided at the beginning of 2021 that we were going to not have the tasting room bar, belly up to the bar. And we were just getting too busy. And to a point that we felt people's experience was fun. But it wasn't an experience. And so when COVID hit, it just ramped it up for us to make the change as soon as we could reopen. So in June, we actually reopened under restaurant guidelines, and the current patio you see right here is our setup. And so having 14 tables out here, we would seat anywhere 6 to 8 at a time, and 6 feet apart, and kind of break it down to almost like a restaurant service.
That's cool.
You have a greeter who takes you to your table, sits you down. We come out with a wine tower, which has all the wines presented in front of you. Okay, cool. And then the next part of that really was the food aspect, and they were requiring us to have a meal component. And so that's when I just said, okay, well, let's make it simple. My background of being with Alpha Bar and doing consulting and catering stuff is that a lot of times your menu is too big, it's overly complicated, and when you're starting to launch something out, simplicity, but do it well and be a good product, is the only way to do it. So we actually just started with one small bites pleb, but it had 13 components to it. It had herb marinated olives, which I make in house, some vegetables like peppers and broccoli, and some grapes. So we had some hummus, a little pita chips.
Oh, nice.
And then we had 3 different cheeses and 2 salamis. Or no, 3 different types of meat and 2 cheeses.
Okay.
And so there was about 13 things on it, but it was really easy just to prep everything, plate it, and then literally have it out in the kitchen.
And there's like something for everyone.
Right. And so we started with that, and that was the first phase, and then we moved into our second phase, which we have a pizza oven back there, so we started different flatbreads. That was the next phase, was adding in a kind of featured flatbread each month.
Okay.
And then we added in an indulgence plate, so you can actually order dessert too.
Oh, fun.
And so we've done cheesecake cupcakes, different chocolate truffles, coming up here this year we'll do some other different desserts, tiramisu and creme brulee. And so I'm just going to keep evolving that menu with keeping it not a lot of items, but items that look good, taste good, and pair obviously well with wine.
That's awesome. That's so
keep
much fun.
Keep doing that.
Yeah.
We have a culinary team here that we put together, myself, our wine ambassador Andrew, our winemaker Brent Amos, and then we recently brought in a guy into the kitchen so that I didn't have to be in the kitchen 100% of the time.
Okay.
First month I did all of it.
Okay.
And then after doing almost 900 plates in the first month, I realized I needed to be out here with the people and in a position to be with the staff as well as bopping back and forth. And so we hired Tony to come aboard, and he's been amazing.
That's awesome.
So having a bunch of people that all are passionate about food, it's really easy to be a part and not only be a part of it, but be proud to say that that's what we should be known for, is not just our wine, but the experience of having food and wine, and the whole experience of going out and relaxing and enjoying what we do in the valley.
Yeah, when I came here, it was probably a year and a half ago. I've been trying to hit every single one, so I don't get to come back as often.
Right.
Now I'm almost done, so I get to go to the ones I enjoy, or like for different reasons. But I noticed that your guys' event list was the coolest thing that I've seen in Livermore Valley.
And when you say event list, is like different things that we do?
Yeah, I remember the concerts, and we were planning to go to one, and then
that's such a bummer. Yeah. So the first year I was here, we started in May, and we called it Evening in the Vineyards.
Yeah.
And it started with the first couple concerts, not a lot of people, but then it just slowly started picking up. Mm-hmm. And if you can imagine, at one time we could get 150 people on this patio.
Yeah.
And so it ended up kind of each year growing a little bit. And then the last year, 2019, we actually started doing an indoor series. And so we started in February and did concerts indoor, a little more acoustic, smaller duos. And then this last year, before COVID hit, we had our best lineup by far. And we were going to celebrate our 100th concert, which was going to be in October.
Aww.
With a local band here, Chronic Republic.
Oh, I actually love them. So I saw them at, the Pleasanton in the summertime.
Yep.
And I was like, it takes a little bit to get, but I downloaded their songs and everything.
They're awesome.
They're amazing.
Yeah, so they were our big draw at the end of the year. It was going to be our 100th concert celebration. So we'll get back to it.
Yeah. They're all affordable too. That was another thing that I looked at. It's like you could bring, you don't have to like break your bank to just come and enjoy a night.
$6.50 for a ticket.
It's super awesome.
So your total with food, because we would also have like we had a menu of either like different, we end up doing different flatbreads, but I think this next year we'll end up doing some salads and sandwiches. We're going to change the menu up a little bit for the concerts. And we're also going to, as soon as they allow us, but we'll get back to doing that series. It was the second and fourth Friday, May through September. Okay. But eventually, once they allow us to have music here, we plan on actually having music every Saturday night.
Oh, fun.
So concert series will be on Fridays, the second and fourth Fridays, and that will just be for, May through September, hopefully. Yeah. But moving forward, we're not doing weddings and things like that anymore. Okay. We've decided to fully go to full-time winery without having weddings be something that really was challenging for us to have the two businesses work together.
Yeah.
And so now, as soon as they give us the go, Saturday nights will be
I'll
open.
be here every Saturday.
It will be open seating. You'll be able to just walk up, sit down, someone will greet you, and you can order a glass of wine, listen to music for a little bit, or spend the whole night.
Yeah.
And have your friends and make it an evening of really getting away. And there's nothing better than being out in this relaxing environment.
Yeah, Livermore is the best.
It's great.
It is amazing. All right, so wait, hold on. What's your favorite, or like, what's one of your favorite food and wine pairings you've done? I know that's hard because it's a lot.
My favorite food and wine pairing?
Yeah.
One we actually just did that I liked and enjoyed just because of it took 4 different people kind of putting their ideas together. For our last club pickup, we did a Spanish theme.
Okay.
And it was all tapas.
Okay, fun.
And it was all 4 on one plate. And it was the kind of progression to go from start to finish. And so it started off with a gazpacho soup. It was a tomato, cucumber, bell pepper gazpacho.
Okay.
And then we did a polenta slider. And basically we made this almost all vegetarian.
Oh, nice.
Or the ability to have certain items that had meat in it taken out so that the vegetarians could enjoy it.
Because I have a vegetarian friend, and she says there's the biggest problem with like wine and food pairing is there's not a lot of options for vegetarians.
I think the best way to look at when you're doing for a lot of people is always have the ability to take out the meat component or have a alternative vegetarian item that is complementary to the wine. Not forgetting about, we'll just put some vegetables together and they're going to be happy. That's not going to make it.
Yeah, that's what she was saying. She was like, sometimes they'll just give me a veggie plate. And I'm like, cool.
No. What we did with our featured flatbreads this last month was brie, prosciutto, arugula with balsamic glaze, the sea salt. And then the brie, we actually mixed it with cream cheese and manchego. It was kind of like icing. Mm-hmm. And you layer the manchego on top. Layer the prosciutto. But for vegetarians, instead of putting on the prosciutto, we put sliced caramelized apples.
Oh, nice.
Or sliced apples, then did a little caramel sauce on top of it. So we had the same base, but then altered the protein in order to accommodate and really create a pizza that a lot of people that enjoy meat enjoy the sliced apple one because it kind of tastes like a caramel apple.
I'll have to bring her when you guys.
I think that's kind of our fun thing right now is our pickup parties, doing a theme and doing a pairing and making it theme related. So this last one I said was Spanish. We're looking at doing one in February, and we're thinking maybe an Asian theme, or we're just going to have fun creating. Yeah. And then the menu will always evolve here. It's not going to be the same. Yeah. It might have some of that flatbread might come back in 3 or 4 months. Yeah. But maybe it'll have a little different version to it. So cool. I think that's, for me, is kind of the fun thing is really trying to keep it evolved as well as make it simple but executable.
Nice. I like it. And what's the weirdest pairing you've ever done? Like,
well, I think I have to go back to bacon and cab because
I know.
The first year we did it, my winemaker actually encouraged me to make bacon brownies.
Oh, ew.
Now, that's what a lot of people will say, but they're actually really good.
Okay.
So we'd actually,
my brother-in-law would love them.
So what we had actually do is we take the bacon that we cooked to taste and research and taste and create the menu, and we take that and we'd grind it up in a coffee grinder. So it's just like powder. Yeah. And you just incorporate that into your brownie mix. Okay. But instead of using butter, you just use straight bacon fat. Oh. So I would save all the bacon fat from doing 30, 40 pounds worth of bacon. Yeah. And I'd use those for the brownies. So I'd say that might be one of the most unique. I'll
have to tell my brother-in-law to make
is bacon brownies with a little salted caramel sauce. And I actually made the caramel sauce with using our port wine.
Okay, that's fun.
So trying to incorporate that. And that's another thing that I'm trying to do is utilize as much of our wine in our product or in our food as possible. If it's a sauce, it'll have our wine in it. That's cool. Whatever, I even made pesto. We did a pesto caprese. But instead of using really a lot of olive oil, I used white wine. Okay. And instead of using pine nuts, we used sesame seeds. Oh, I'm sorry, sunflower seeds. Okay. So we're always kind of experimenting and having fun with creating it a little differently, but trying to use the wine as much incorporated into the food as possible.
That's fun. All right. So besides all this, what else do you do?
Well, I actually started my own label this year too as well, so I'm learning how to make wine.
What wines did you make?
I just made one red blend. Okay. And it's Mourvedre, which is a Rhone varietal. Okay. Syrah, Graciano, and Grenache.
What would you pair it with?
rack of lamb. It could definitely stand up to anything that's gamey, meaty.
Okay.
A nice steak. It's actually big. It's bold. It's developed so much since we bottled it in July, and then this last week I just started releasing it this week and started selling it to some friends and family. So it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome.
That was kind of a fun process to see it as from the start, from when it came in and harvested to 2017.
Okay.
So really kind of started 4 years ago, asking questions to our winemaker if it's a possibility. And he said, yeah, if you want to buy all it from me, not a problem. I said, okay.
Fine.
So let's do a barrel. So I ended up buying about 740 some bottles, and just started a little kind of, little wine club society of friends and family that are going to buy it off me, and it's a fundraiser to honor my mom.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's really cute.
So that's been another project of mine. I also do the outside sales here. So anything with restaurants,
Okay.
or like Costco and Total Wines, and the outside wholesale business I helped create. And
So your wines are in Costco?
we have one wine in Costco. We
Check
have
it out.
Petite Syrah, it's awesome. It's under $20. And then Total Wines, we have some in different locations through Northern California, and then we just submitted some paperwork to go national with them.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then Whole Foods, we also have our wines in Whole Foods.
Okay.
It's in the Dublin location right now. And then a bunch of just restaurants in here and there in Pleasanton
It's
Valley.
my favorite thing to do is go to the wine aisle and see how many Livermores. Or anywhere. Yeah.
Well, we're growing.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
We're growing.
And the restaurants, they need to pick it up. I never, especially around here, I don't see many Livermore, and like we're right here.
No, the tough thing is is the price point for for the small market, family-owned wineries. Quite costly to make wine, you know, and when you're talking, we only do 3,000 case production, so that is like super boutique.
Yeah.
Put it in perspective. Wente right up the road does $1 million.
Yeah.
Cuda Ridge is probably 4,000 to 5,000. So is Dante. We're all probably in that same range, anywhere 3,000 to 5,000, 6,000 case production, and that's not a huge. If you have a larger production, it's able to maybe charge a little bit less. It's harder for us to be able to sell to a wholesale market where it makes it beneficial for them too. A restaurant's going to buy your wine at a certain price, but there is a benefit of having your wine out there and exposed. It's the brand is being recognized, and of course the local community wants to see those wines. So for the most part, that's kind of our market. It's really Livermore, Pleasanton, San Ramon, Danville, Walnut Creek, the valley there, and but there's a lot of opportunity to grow. So that's kind of our opportunity to kind of push the button, keep doing what we do. Our winemaker is incredible. He's got 17 different varietals on the property. And
that's awesome.
We're all estate grown, so we don't have to source anymore. So we are in a very unique position to kind of do what we want to do. And he's definitely got some big plans to expand, and they keep it going.
Yeah, so follow along.
Yeah.
All right, so tell us a little bit about what you're doing in 2022, because this is cool.
Yes, so this will be my second time hosting a river cruise. Back in 2018, I did Paris to Normandy, which was amazing, on the Seine River with Alma Waterways, and then was asked to come back and do another one. So I chose Burgundy and Provence. It's kind of a region, both those regions are kind of special to me. Burgundy being the region that has Pinot Noir, which was my favorite varietal of all time, and Provence is actually the region that has most of the Rhone varietals, which the wine that I made for Phenom is. Those are the primary varietals there. So to be able to actually go on the Rhone River for 7 days and gone with a bunch. We have about 14 cabins of people so far going. Signed up through Las Positas, and so it'll just be a great time to go see some history, some culture. We're going right through Lyon, which is France's culinary capital, so I literally get to go to the Mecca. And every day there's different excursions that are included. One of which is included in the daily agenda. One of them is actually to go searching for the black truffle,
Oh, fun.
the holy grail of all culinary chefs out there. So kind of a dream of mine to actually go on the actual hunt.
That's so amazing.
So each day they have, and sometimes it's just bike riding through the city.
Yeah.
But all of them are designed to really give you an idea. You know, some of them are cultural. You go into art museums. So Alma does a phenomenal job, and the hospitality is great. The food's great. So I'll do one dinner with the chef there on the ship.
Okay.
And then we'll do one dinner just my group where their sous chef will actually do all of the cooking right in front of us.
Oh, that's awesome.
So definitely a food kind of experience as well on the cruise ship.
That's awesome. I've always wanted to do one of these. I need to look into it.
You should. Check it out. We've got 14 cabins left.
All right. Not going to waste time. All right. So do you want to talk a little more about the red wine?
So the red wine they poured is pronounced...
the color is beautiful.
Yes, it is. So it's pronounced Coccineous. It's Latin for scarlet. It's describing the color of the wine. And it's Tempranillo based with Graciano, which is another Rhone varietal, or another Iberian red varietal. And then a little bit of Syrah and Petit Syrah. And Mourvedre.
Yeah, I like the Petit Syrah. I think the Petit Syrah gives it more like...
It gives it a little bit bolder to it. I think some of the Syrah gives it some of the spice. So it's a Graciano.
It's a nice
and
blend.
Tempranillo. And as I kind of said, it was the first blend that Brent created here that had a unique name to it. And it took some people a long time to kind of grasp into it, and now it has its own kind of following. It's done really well in competitions for us. It's just a nice, very delicate. It's delicate, but it's got nice spice, chocolate, raspberry.
Yeah.
You pair it with lamb or nice steak.
This is not too bold, like in your face.
It's not bold. It's very smooth.
Because I'm a cab drinker that doesn't need food for cab, so I could drink anything.
A great wine really doesn't need food. The food just makes it better.
Better. All right. Well, that is Curtis for you. He's at Las Positas in Livermore, so check them out, follow along, and when they're back open, come to an event.
Yeah, just check out our website, Las Positas Vineyards.com. We'll have all of our events and when we're reopening, everything that you need to find there.
They're a blast. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.